What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support is next to none, Taurus, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be just like a monthly check-in. You know, we've done business, we've done self-growth, we've loved, and now let's just see where we're at and all that stuff here, Taurus. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems are feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Taurus. Now with this spread, I'm going to be pulling 9 cards, and I'll be doing clarifications as need be. And of course, a good old surprise card at the end, because Taurus, that wouldn't be fair otherwise. And in case y'all were curious, I'm using the Tarot of the Divine deck. And I have a link for this deck and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Taurus. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, which is going to be your current self. So, hiya self. Where is Taurus currently at on their journey here? Let's see what you been up to, Taurus. Let's see how we're feeling. Yeah? No? Okay. Oi. Okay. All right, Taurus. You got the Eight of Swords here. And so I feel like with the Eight of Swords popping up, maybe for some of us, we've been, I feel like maybe we're really kind of maybe stuck in our head, you know, or maybe at least that's where we've been, however long, Taurus, because the Eight of Swords is like, for me, this is like a self-imposed prison here. You know, whatever is going on, we've allowed ourselves to be so crippled by this thing, or, you know, so affected so heavily that, and Taurus, that's not to say that whatever you're going through is really light, or, you know, that it's like light or anything, you know, it's, you know, I'm not trying to diminish what you're going through here, but I feel like we've gotten into this place where it's just like, it's really like got us where we're not moving, you know, where we're just like paralyzed with, you know, in our head. And it's not like I feel like you're not getting out of bed and going to do your thing, but it's just like in your mental state is just, we're locked into like a set way here, you know, because Eight of Swords can be very, very kind of heavy energy here. You know, it's one of those things, it's like, you know, maybe we're feeling like low self-esteem, you know, maybe we haven't, maybe we've been trying to hit like maybe we expected to be further along on our journey than we are, and then maybe we're not, maybe we're feeling like we're failures. However this may be manifesting for you, Taurus, I feel like it's something that with this, just show yourself some kindness. You know, whatever's going on right now, it might suck in the moment, you know, and that, again, that's not me diminishing what's going on with you, but I feel like it's just remembering that whatever is going on is temporary. And where sometimes if we're like, we may not be able to control a situation, but we can control how we feel about it, Taurus. And there's power in that, because again, that doesn't take away from the suck, but that does it does help about how we go about handling it. Because if we're staying in like a negative space and we're trying to get out of this stuff here, how's that, you know, if that's where you've been at right now, you know, I imagine that's not been working out well for you here. Otherwise this wouldn't have been popping up. So I feel like, you know, I would challenge you. Try to switch up your mentality, you know, a paradigm shift a little bit, you know, maybe instead of like, oh, I'm a failure or this or that, you know, whatever is the negative mantra that you're telling yourself right now. Just start with, you know, just like, I'm the boss. I feel great, you know, like just little things like that, you know. I just started doing and really started like making it more of a routine, you know, to introduce like affirmations into my life and just to kind of practice that stuff. And I feel like a really good simple one is just like, I love myself. Start there, and just whenever you find yourself maybe spiraling or something like that, I love myself. And it really does. It's like, you know, whatever, despite what's going on, I love myself. And it's just, it's empowering, Taurus. Even I just got chills just saying that a few times. And all that to say, Taurus, maybe just some, maybe just find, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be affirmations. It can be whatever, maybe just anything that can bring some type of positivity in your life. That could be maybe being with, if we have pets, maybe being with your animals, kind of loving your animals, being like a practice, that nurturing and that love, and then kind of allow yourself to feel that, so that you can transition that energy to yourself, and kind of heal yourself in all of this thing here, because it is really the Eight of Swords is, it's really one of those places that we lock ourselves into, and it happens to the best of us, Taurus. I've been there too, but it's the universe reminding us that we're all the best, and that you've been an Eight of Swords before. This isn't the first Eight of Swords you've been into. I'm willing to bet, but you've got just like you've tackled other Eight of Swords. This one, it may be feeling a little bit heavier, but that's because there's going to be bigger growth coming here. It's not going to be the same each time. And that's not going to say it's going to intensify all the time, Taurus, but it is going to be different depending on where our vibrations are at and where we're trying to go in our journey here. So it's just something to keep in mind, for the month here. Just should maybe show yourself some kindness in all of this here. I feel like that'll definitely would definitely benefit all of us. But I feel like, for those of you who are resonating with this thing, I feel like that definitely will definitely benefit for you, Taurus. Now let's get to your second card here. Deep start, but you know what? It's the first day here. Let's see. We got the whole month ahead of us here. So the next card is going to be the theme of the month. So higher self. What's the theme looking like for Taurus? We've got came in feeling a little heavy. Got a lot on our heads here. But you know what? What are we going to be thinking about? Let's see how we're going to change that up. I love it. You got the Hanged Man in reverse here, and I dig that, because normally the Hanged Man is a card of, when it's upright, is a card of like needing to find new perspectives. It's very, you've been trapped in an Eight of Swords for a while, and if you've been going about it the same way and we're still find ourselves stuck in here, this is, the Hanged Man is the kindest way, I feel like, for higher self, is like, for higher self to just kind of like, hey, Taurus, I love you, but this isn't working. Like, it's like, this isn't raising your vibration. So it's just like, we need to pause and think about what we're doing, be mindful with our actions here. So I feel like the theme for you this month, Taurus, is going to be, just like really going about things a little bit differently, maybe what we've maybe either been telling ourselves, or it could be too, if we're in a situation that's gotten us put in this situation here, whether it's with our work, whether it's with our relationship, whether it's with however that's looking like for you, if it's job or relationship, I'm not saying like cut them off all right off the bat here, but maybe if it's with job, maybe it's trying to find, something else, in the mix here, maybe get something else lined up. Relationship, same type of thing, maybe something, if you feel like this is something you can salvage, maybe talk about this thing. But I feel like it's just, we need switching things up a little bit instead of just keeping ourselves in this place of just feeling down all the time. I feel like that's really going to be your theme of the month, is getting you to where you'll have this epiphany that, because that's what the Hanged Man in reverse there for me. It's like an epiphany that you're like, oh, right, I've been like casting this spell on myself here, because Taurus, words are powerful. Think of this way, swords is just another way of, sword is just like an anagram for words. And if we're using our words to cut at ourselves and, assault ourselves, it's too much. But, if we I'm not sure where the sword will come from. If we just put the sword down and just self-care, stop stabbing ourselves with swords. I hope that makes sense, Taurus. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be just like a mental shift this month. Maybe, just showing yourself some compassion. Maybe, I feel like that's going to help get you to where this Hanged Man is upright here. So yeah, I like that. Now let's get to your third card here, which is going to be a key goal to pursue. So higher self, what's a key goal for Taurus to pursue at this time? Let's see what are some things that may help kind of move this energy along here, Taurus. Okay. I love it. It's your card here, one of your cards. You got the Knight of Coins in reverse here. So I feel like a key thing to focus on here is that persevering, you know, because that's your energy, Taurus. If anybody, you know, one of the things that, you know, other than maybe like, you know, like the generic, like, oh, Taurus may be stubborn or whatnot, I feel like it's less stubborn and it's more, Taurus energy is tenacious. You know, you're the types that are going to, once you set your mind on something, you're going to go out there and accomplish that thing. And that's powerful, Taurus. And, you know, I feel like you have the drive to accomplish this thing, you know, but being a fixed sign, you know, depending on, because fixed signs are usually the type, they may have a little trouble initiating something, but man, once they get that ball rolling, get out the way. You know, they stay fixated on it. And, you know, that's something to think about too, you know, if you get a chance, you know, and check your chart. See if you have a lot of fixed energy, you know, that may be something that you know, understand what you're working with, you know, energetically. But ultimately, you know, the Knight of Coins, you know, with him being in reverse, this is like we've stopped right now. You know, all progress is halted, and the Knight of Coins is already considered the slowest moving knight of the knights. So, you know, I feel like we're like almost just like rooted in whatever this Eight of Swords is. So yeah, I feel like it's time to just like shake some of that dust off there, Taurus. Get back on that bull and show people what you're made of. You know, show people that you're more than Eight of Swords. You know, you're come on, Taurus. I don't need to tell you what a boss you are. Let's get to your fourth card here, which is going to be an obstacle to overcome. So higher self, what's a possible obstacle that Taurus might need to overcome here? Let's see what are some obstacles here for you, Taurus. Interesting. I like that. You got the Five of Wands in reverse here. And I feel like we want to get to this place where we're kind of like quiet. Normally this is a card of like combat and, you know, like maybe like arguing and things like that. And that could be something, you know, maybe if we've been down in, you know, been feeling really down, and maybe if we've been kind of like, if we had some interactions with people that may not have left on the best of terms, you know, maybe got into like an altercation, or, you know, however that might be resonating, you know, that might be something too. You know, an obstacle might be to kind of be or I guess, hold on, let me back up. I think the first one obstacle is kind of being mindful with not getting into fights, is how I was meaning to say that. You know, being in a place, you know, if you're in a vulnerable place right now, you know, if people are trying to help you, sometimes if we don't want people to see that, we may kind of lash out, or, you know, kind of maybe say, you know, not some very mindful things in the moment there, Taurus. So I feel like, you know, we want to avoid conflict at all cost here. And but I feel like for some others, you know, what's really kind of really speaking with me for this Five of Wands is to, an obstacle is to be to kind of like calm that tumultuous energy that the Five of Wands can bring in our heads, you know, from this Eight of Swords energy here. Because, you know, I feel like this, you know, the Five of Wands doesn't necessarily just doesn't have to deal with just people, you know. When you're in an Eight of Swords situation, you're all up in your head. That's what Swords energy is about, you know. We can get to this place of where we're just like, it feels just like a storm, and we can get very mean to ourselves, and again, you know, possibly even lash out to some others who may kind of get in our realm here. So yeah, just kind of be mindful of that, Taurus. You know, if we're not feeling like seeing people, or, you know, let's say, you know, if we're just talking about from the people aspect, maybe kind of distance yourself. Tell them, you know, explain what's going on. It's just like, hey, it's not you. I need a minute to kind of be with this thing. And you know, I imagine, you know, if this is your soul tribe, they'll understand. And if not, you know, then that's just might be something that like when you both match vibrationally again, you know, that'll work out. But in this whole thing too, just make sure to be kind to yourself, Taurus. You know, this is something that, you know, we don't want to lash out on others, and we don't want to get to where we're like beating up on ourselves as well. So I hope that made sense. I know I started off at a weird point, but that's hopefully I brought that home okay. But let's get to your fifth card here, because we've been putting in all this work, and now we're going to get to the accomplishments. So higher self, what are some What are some accomplishments for Taurus here? Let's see what's a major accomplishment looking like for you, Taurus. I feel like we've been putting in this work here. Let's see. Let's see what are some things we can get out of this thing. Interesting. I like that, Taurus. You got the Three of Swords here. And I feel like a major accomplishment is that you're going to get over this thing here. Because normally the Three of Swords is a card of sorrow, melancholy, really just kind of depressing, just kind of just like, just down in the dumps type of energy here. Very, very hard. It could be potentially, just really harsh energy here. And I feel like the major accomplishment is now we're going to start getting out of this rut. Hopefully we've been, or maybe we've been, been practicing, kind of like self-love, kind of telling ourselves more kinder things, realizing that we are better than what we've set ourselves to be, or that maybe other people have even put us in a box here. So I feel like Taurus, this is nice. I feel like relief is coming. That's going to be a major accomplishment, especially if we're working on this thing. And Taurus, I don't know if we don't think that that's, I don't know why we would think that that's not a big win, but if, for some of us just like, oh, that's it. It was like, Taurus, that's going to feel you're going to feel so much better, just like, I feel like it's going to be, I just got lighter even just seeing that, and that's, normally that doesn't happen with Three of Swords. So the fact that this popped up here, I feel like that things are going to be okay. It's just, we're going to do, again, persevering and being kind to yourself. And that's definitely how you can get over this here. Now let's get to your sixth card here, which might be some things you may want to avoid at this time. So higher self, what are some energies that Taurus may want to avoid at this time? Let's see what's cooking up there. Interesting. You got the Seven of Wands in reverse here. And that's interesting, because normally the Seven of Wands is a card of like, is like a card of protection, a card of, in the face of criticism and whatnot, that we stick to our guns, and that we stand by what our heart tells us here. And I feel like maybe some things to avoid are maybe, I feel like any sort of things, whether it be first people, if we have, kind of check with our people here. If we have some people that are like lowering our vibrations, that, maybe, I don't want to say they're taking advantage, but they're just, maybe they're just bringing doing more harm than good for your healing here, Taurus. I don't think it's necessarily that you should cut people out, but I think this is a time for you right now to just really, to establish just some boundaries, just for right now while you're going through this thing. That's going to look differently on everybody here. And I also feel like, too, maybe some things to avoid as well is just like, doubting ourselves as well, because I feel like, again, this doesn't necessarily just have to be like people that are afflicting us too. We can attack our own growth as well. It's like, you made some progress, and then if we get like a step back, then it's just like, well, crap, this doesn't feel like it's worth it. Like I did all that thing, and now I'm just right back where I started. Just F it. I'm done. And that's something I feel like we want to avoid, that type of stuff, Taurus. If we find ourselves, if we're the type that we find that are that just like that may have that like sort of like that knee-jerk reaction if at the first sign of like tension there, we got to power through that thing, because that's what the bull's gonna do. That's the bull's not gonna stop for for Three of Swords. Come on now, Taurus energy is going to keep that thing moving, and keep in mind too, when you're taking care of yourself and all this stuff, your ruler is Venus, and that's the Empress. And how I'm sure you've had the Empress with me, and I love the Empress. Nature my problem. But remember to self-care, really kind of take care of yourself, and not even just yourself too, take care of your environment, because sometimes when we get kind of stuck in this Eight of Swords energy, we can start neglecting, like it starts, maybe we start missing showers, we start missing meals, we stop cleaning up things, depending on what degree you're at in this Eight of Swords here. Let's start, beautifying ourselves and beautifying our environments here, because what better way to, if your environment is all chaotic and depressing and just like keeps you down, that's not gonna promote the growth either, Taurus. We want to try to tackle this thing from every aspect here. We're coming at it from a bunch of new perspectives here. We're thinking big here, with how we're about to go about this Empress time that I feel like that you might need right now. So whew, okay, that's hopefully I tell you, these cards have been pretty real chatty the last week. So yeah, I hope you got that nugget of wisdom out of there. Now let's get to your seventh card here, which is going to be some things to embrace at this time. So higher self, what are some things that Taurus should embrace at this time? Let's see what's going on with that, Taurus. Interesting. You got the Four of Swords in reverse here. And that's fascinating. You know, I find, well, you know what? Because normally the Four of Swords for me is like a card of rest and a card of, you know, like you've been going through a lot, and it's just like it's time to just sort of like unplug and kind of kick back a little bit. But I'm wondering if maybe some things to embrace is that maybe for some of us, maybe we've been in like a hermit state too long. You know, maybe we've been kind of cooped up in the pad too long, or you know, really maybe being sort of detached from everybody. We may have and this is just, you know, as the month progresses, Taurus, you know, I feel like maybe for some, you know, maybe we get we might be a little too caught up in this Hanged Man here, you know, and it's time eventually, like I was saying, you know, we want to I feel like we want to embrace taking action here. You know, I feel like with this, you know, this is saying like we've gotten enough rest. You know, now we can start getting back up again and start, you know, getting back to tackling life again. You know, now that you are like you're feeling in a better space there, Taurus. So that's just it's just again just something to keep in mind there. But I think I'm gonna get a little bit more on that Four of Swords there, because that is interesting, you know. But I do understand that I feel like there is such a thing as being in the Hanged Man situation too long, you know. And you know, when I talk about the Hanged Man, I will everyone's journey is different, and you know, Taurus, I'm gonna kick it with you in this Hanged Man situation until you're ready to move forward. But it is keeping that in mind. Eventually, you know, you know, don't force it, you know, but eventually we do want to move forward. You know, we want to take that drive, you know, go at your pace. But let's get a little bit more on that Four of Swords before we move on. I feel like there may be another little nugget in there. So higher self, can we clarify the Four of Swords, please? Yeah, let's get a little bit more on that, Taurus. Okay, so the five, okay, yeah. So the five of, the Four of Swords is clarified by the Six of Cups, the Two of Coins, and the Five of Swords. So, yeah, I feel like we need to get into this place of where, you know, we have to make a decision. You know, we can, the thing to embrace, it's like you can either stay in the past here and kind of focus on this hurt here, because that's what I'm really getting with this like kind of Five of Swords, Six of Cups type of energy, because the Six of Cups has to deal with the past, you know, kind of nostalgic energy here. And the Five of Swords can be a card of like competition, possibly be a card of betrayal. You know, and I feel like, you know, we could stay in this place of where we can focus on this hurt here, not move in this thing, stay in this Hanged Man situation, or we can start taking action. You know, I feel like we can start finding balance, you know, getting balance in our lives again, and start getting our energies back up, and start just get back to manifesting, Taurus. You know, getting back on the journey here. You know, I feel like, you know, whenever these situations happen to you, you know, they're not, or you know, that not even happen to you, that these situations happen, they're not meant to do it to bring you down and just like to keep you down. It's just like, haha, Taurus is not going anywhere. No, this is meant to get to help you to grow, to level up, to get the most out of this thing, to embody the best version of yourself that you can be. So it's just, you know, I get where we can want to stay in the past, but be careful with that. You know, if we play that loop or whatever, you know, start repeating ourselves, you know, we're getting back into this cage. So I feel like the thing again, you know, I feel like it's embracing the embracing the momentum here. We want to let go and know too. I feel like the Six of Cups, if we're stuck in this place of like nostalgia, where it's like, I used to feel good, but now I'm not feeling great anymore. I'll never feel this way again. Taurus, the nice thing about the Six of Cups, I feel like it's like a reminder of like, if you've created happy times in the past once, you can do it again, and you can do it again, you can do it again, and as many times. But it may not be, it definitely won't be the same thing as it was before. We're hoping that it's going to be better, and that every time your memories are just getting better and better and better and growing and growing and growing. We don't want to, and Taurus, you can do whatever you want in this situation. I can't tell you what to do here, but I do feel like something that will help you is just embracing that idea of getting over this thing. So let's get to your 8th card here, which is going to be where to find support. So higher self. Where can Taurus find support in this thing? Let's see what energies you might need to kind of find support with this, Taurus. Absolutely. You got the King of Wands here, Taurus. And the King of Wands, I feel like it's one of those things that, because like I told you, no one can tell you what to do in this situation. Eventually, we're going to have to rise up to the occasion, because Taurus, this is a phoenix here. And, maybe right now we may just be feeling like just like ashes, or we may even feel like we're in like the last stages of the phoenix. It's just like, oh my goodness, it's getting kind of decrepit. You're getting ready to just burst, But Taurus, newness is coming out of this stuff. This hangman, enlightenment. Look at that sun. That's what's coming out of this hanged man situation here. And I feel like where you're going to find some support is to just maybe kind of sit down and map out, get like a game plan, what you want to do with this stuff here. How find out sit down with it. What is it that's bothering you? And then what is it like, in what ways can we take action? Because that's what the King of Wands does. The King of Wands is a card like he's the type that, if he's stuck in an 8 of Swords, we're analyzing this thing, because the Wands have to deal with energy. And then we're going to figure out the most effective way to get out of this thing, to get some momentum on this thing. Because I feel like it's really, once we get those gears turning, it's just everything is going to start falling. It'll be like dominoes, and everything's just going to start falling into place for you, Taurus. But I feel like it's really, I'm getting like the overall theme is, it's just like, we're stuck right now, and it's time to just, and it's during this month, it's like start thinking about how we're going to get ourselves out of this rut here. So, yeah, let's get to your last card here, which is going to be some advice. So, higher self. What's some advice that we have for Taurus, or maybe some encouragement, or let's see what's coming in there for you, Taurus. Yeah, okay. You got the 6 of Swords in reverse here, Taurus, and let's hold on. Oops, where is my? Oh, I lost my mouse. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's switch back over. Okay, so with the 6 of Swords being in reverse here. The 6 of Swords in reverse is a card of not wanting to let go, about still being stuck in the past. It's like kind of what I was talking about when I clarified that 4 of Swords in reverse here. It's like, it's... It's tough, Taurus, because it's like, it's pretty much just like this whole reading has just been just like, it's time to let whatever this is, this 8 of Swords that's holding us down and it's keeping us in this rut, or I feel like you got to be in a rut, your movement to be in a rut. Like, I don't know, like, I just feel like if we want to get to this place of not feeling stuck, it's time to think about some things, some stuff to let go. I feel like whatever we're clinging on to, it may be hard in the moment, but ask yourself, is it going to be harder? Are you going to feel better than you do right now? Because whatever this is that you need to let go, Taurus, it's something that you have to think about yourself at the end of the day. It's going to be, and you know what? I keep saying that like you have. You don't have to, Taurus. you're in a judgment-free zone here. But at some point, I just feel like it's gonna make you feel so much better if we just kind of let that stuff go. Before we wrap up. just because that my son is in Cancer, and Cancer and Taurus have a good relationship, and I feel like the moon, when I think about our Cancer's ruler, the moon is exalted in Taurus, and that whole elaborate thing is to say that I feel like you would benefit kind of channeling into like a Queen of Cups type of energy here. And what I mean by that is it's very Cancerian energy in the sense of like she's the type that even when experiences like this happen, she appreciates what growth she got from this thing here, and she also it's also to remember that she doesn't want to repeat this type of stuff here. You know, she's gotten the lesson from this thing. You know, we want to get to where we're hitting more happiness. You know, hitting more where we're making new memories with this Six of Cups here. So I feel like Taurus, it might be one. I'm just feeling like, you know, maybe we're I don't know why we're clinging so hard onto this thing possibly, but if the answer of you letting this thing go is going to feel better is yes, then I feel like just explore that. See what Knight of Wands. You know, you don't have to just burn everything down overnight. Be tactful with this thing. You know, be practical in how you handle this thing. You know, get a game plan and then start executing, and then just kind of see where we get at. You know, Hangman in reverse is coming, Taurus. So, I think I'll leave that there. little deep. So you know, that's we definitely got a lot to think about. I feel like this month for sure. But if you like that, you know, give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who may have Taurus in their chart that may be going through this, or just, you know, maybe someone who might resonate with this thing, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Taurus. You know, we're just trying to raise that vibration. So if that's the case, you know, share this thing. Let's share. Let's raise the vibration and share the love. Subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. I am getting better about being all over Facebook. And then lastly, you know, when I was talking about the Chariot and Friends, you know, if you got Cancer in your placement, I don't know if your situation, maybe you're dealing with the Cancer, but check out the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there, discuss lunar shenanigans. We'll talk all about the Queen of Cups, and just all that, Taurus. All that housekeeping's in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. You got the King of Coins in reverse right here, Taurus. And that's, to me, that's not a bad thing. Because right now, I feel like this is... King of Coins is your potential here. Because you know what? Another thing, you know, while we were talking about the stubborn, one of the aspects of Taurus, you know, I feel like Taurus is about their money. You know, and not in like a bad way. You know, I feel like it's Venus energy. Venus embodies, you know, finances and all that stuff here. And I feel like, you know, right now, Taurus, with it being in reverse, it's... When we stay in this situation here, this Eight of Swords here, I don't know if you can hear that siren, but sirens start going off and our abundance is affected here. You know, our ability to manifest. So I feel like, you know, this is just to show you that I feel this is not to deter you. This is just to show you what you have at your disposal here. You know, what you're getting ready to unlock here is a King of Coins. It's just right now we need to take some action. We need a King of Wands first. You know, we need to get out of this rut here so that we can get back to just having it to where we can manifest again, to where we can heal ourselves, to where we can grow again. So we're not just stagnating, you know. I feel like right now we're just like with this coming up in reverse, it's like a turtle just hiding in its shell here. You know, we want to get out, stretch your legs, you know, go for a walk, you know. So I'll leave that there, Taurus. You know, I feel like that's you might have a lot to ruminate on here. So with this energy, you know, this is a whole lot. So, you know, be safe out there, Taurus. And, you know, if we're having trouble raising that vibration, you know, this is me. I got you. I got you. This is me putting your arm on my shoulder, and I'll help you raise that vibration, because that's what the soul tribe is for. And last thing, you know, maybe find someone who's going to bring that same kind of support for you, Taurus. And I will catch you on the next one later.